grade 11. How are you today? So I hope you are okay and still safe at home. So for now, we're going to discuss another topic in statistics and probability, wherein we're going to discuss about normal probability distribution. So normal distribution, what comes into your mind when you hear the word normal distribution? So it is said that the probability distribution of a continuous random variable x is a bell-shaped curve wherein the curve is a function of a random variable and sometimes it is called the probability distribution. It is also said that the most important continuous probability distribution is the normal probability distribution. The curve or the graph of this probability is normally a curve or a bell shape. The normal distribution is also called as the Gaussian distribution. Okay class, so when we are talking about normal probability distribution, we have different properties. So what are the properties about normal probability distribution? First, the normal probability distribution is a bell shape. Second, the mean, the median, and the mode coincide at the center. Third, the curve is symmetric about its mean. The fourth properties. So the spread of the curve depends on the standard deviation of the normal distribution. The fifth property, the tails of the curve flatten indefinitely along the non-horizontal axis, approaching always the axis but never touching it. And the sixth property, so the area under the curve is 1. Okay class, so now let us proceed into the areas under the normal curve. So it is said that the areas under the standard normal curve can be found using the areas under the standard normal curve table. So these areas are the regions under the normal curve. Okay class, so let us have some examples in finding the area under the normal curve. For example, you're given is find the area between z is equals to 0 and z is equals into 1.54. In finding for the area under the normal curve, we need to follow different steps. The first step that you're going to do is you're going to sketch the normal curve. Okay class, so like what I've told you, the first step that you are going to do is to sketch the normal curve. So, in going to sketch the normal curve, wherein our given problem is we're going to find the area between z is equals to 0, so this is your 0, and z is equals into 1.54. So, if you're going to sketch, so this is the drawing or the sketch of your curve. Second step that you are going to do, you need to locate the area for z is equals into 1.54 from the areas under the normal curve table, found in the page 238 of our textbook. Proceed down the column marked Z until you reach 1.5. Then proceed to the right along this row until you reach the column marked 4. The intersection of the row that contains 1.5 and the column marked 4 is the area. So therefore, the area is equals into 0.432. So therefore class, the area between z is equals to 0 and z is equals to 1.54 is equals into 0.4382. Okay class, let us have another example wherein we're going to find the area between z is equals to 1.52 and z is equals into 2.5. So like what I've told you, the first step that you're going to do is you're going to sketch the normal curve. So if we are going to sketch the normal curve, so this is like this. Okay? So we all know that the normal curve or the normal distribution is a bell shape. And then of course, since we have here z is equals to 1.52 and the other one is 2.5. So we are going to find the area between these two given. So therefore, you have here at the center wherein we have 0. And then of course, we have this one. Okay. So you have 1.52 and the other one is 2.5. Okay. So what are you going to do next? So you have here a sub 1 and you have here a. So we're going to find the area between these given. So this is the area that we are looking for. Okay, class. So after you sketch the normal curve, what are you going to do next? So let A is equals into the area between Z is equals into 1.52 and 2.5. So this is our given. So we have here the area sub 1, wherein that is the area between Z is equals to 0 and 1.52. And then, area sub 2 or A sub 2 is the area between Z is equals to 0 and 2.5. So remember that we are finding the area between 1.52 and 2.5. So we are looking for this area. Okay, class. So using the area under the normal curve table, we must know what is the value of our Z is equals into 1.52. So we all know that A sub 1 is equals into Z is equals into 1.52. And using our table, so 1.52 is equals into 0.4357. And then our area sub 2 is the area between, you have Z is equals into 0 and Z is equals into 2.5. So using our table, so we have Z is equals to 2.5 is equals is 0.4938. Okay, class. So after you find or locate using the table, so now we are going to find for the area. So area is equals into A sub 2 minus A sub 1. So the value of our A sub 2 is 0.4938 minus our area sub 1 is 0.4357. And then we're going to find for the difference. So you have 0.581. So therefore, class, this is the area between Z is equals to 1.52 and Z is equals into 2.5. Okay, class? So that is how we're going to find for the area under the normal curve. So remember that you need to use the table that is placed on page 238 of our textbook. Okay, class? So if you have questions, please do not hesitate to ask your teacher. Again, thank you for listening. Laus Deo.